Hey yo, what's good you guys? I go by Boomer and you're watching Bali Star. Today, we is getting into understanding European soccer in 4 simple steps. A guide for Americans. You feel me? I don't know exactly what they're gonna get into about understanding European soccer. If it's how to play the sport, like I'm pretty sure, you know, it's common sense on how you play, but common sense is not common. So a lot of people might not know how to play it. I've been playing it since I was like 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? Like my parents are Jamaican, so of course, the first part they'll get me into is soccer. You know what I'm saying? Or football. Um, but this might be different. You know what I'm saying? This might be talking about the crowds, how hype it is, and yeah, bruh. Let's get straight on into it, man. Let's see what they talking about. Let's go.
Riding down the 805, ain't enough, I'm just looking for some 305s.
Welcome to Understanding Soccer in Europe in 4 Simple Steps, a guide for Americans. Although from the outside it may seem complex and confusing, to understand how soccer works in Europe, you really only need to know 4 things. Number 1, each country has its own soccer league. Seasons run from August to May, in which each team plays every other team twice, once at home and once on the road. Games are divided into 2 45-minute halves, and when the game is over, the winner is awarded 3 points, the loser 0, and in the event of a tie, each team gets 1 point. After each team has played all the other teams twice, the team with the most points is crowned champion of the league. They get a big trophy, a parade, and the season is over. There are no playoffs. Sort of. But more on that in a minute. Before the books are
Do
closed
they
on
not
the
play internationally like other countries?
season, there is still one small bit of housekeeping to be done. Number 2, relegation. We'll use the German league as an example. Every year, when the German league is concluded and a champion has been crowned, the 3 teams with the least amount of points are kicked out of the league. This process is known as relegation. The 3 vacant spots are subsequently filled by the top 3 teams from Germany's second division. And unlike, say, baseball in the US, teams in the second and subsequent divisions are not owned by teams in the top division. Imagine if the Pittsburgh Pirates or Oakland Raiders had to fight at the end of each season just to stay in the league. What if instead of coasting to the bottom for better draft picks, they were fighting to the bitter end to avoid the $40 million revenue loss that relegated teams suffer in the first year alone? Not to mention the fact that in England, 9 different teams have gone financially insolvent within 5 years of relegation. Okay, interesting enough, you're thinking. What about that whole lack of playoffs part? Number 3, each country also holds an elimination-style tournament, referred to as a cup. But instead of being held after the 9-month league is over, cup games are scheduled in between league games, normally in the middle of the week. One additional perk about the cup system is that teams from all levels, down to semi-professional and even some amateur teams, are invited to play, and if they do well, can progress, and occasionally even knock off a top team. So every year, these midweek elimination games continue until there are only 2 teams left, who play each other in the cup final. After 90 minutes, a cup champion is crowned.
I just want to know if any of those teams are like Arsenal or because I just know that team Arsenal because that's KSI's like favorite team. What's the other one that he keeps talking about? Like that they say they keep going up against Arsenal and another one.
They get a trophy and a parade. So, between the league and cup games, we get a great picture of who the best and worst teams in each country are. But wait a second, you ask. What would happen if the best teams from each country in Europe all got together and played each other? Good idea. Number 4.
Oh, let me see this one.
Best teams from each country in Europe all got together.
Oh, there it is, Arsenal. And let's see if I can recognize the other team. Monche, Donde, Paris, Lyon.
And played each other. Good idea. Number 4.
Oh, wait, so these
Best
are
teams from
the
each
teams in
country
the
in
different
Europe all got
countries.
together.
England is Arsenal. Manchester. I think it's Manchester. No, it's not Manchester. What's that? Estonia? I think the country's called. Germany, Italy, France, Scotland.
Played each other. Good
Party
idea.
time.
Number 4. The resulting
It's
competition is called the
party.
UEFA Champions League, and it is without a doubt the single greatest club competition of any sport anywhere in the world, period. Think of the NCAA tournament, but with better quality of play, more than double the fan base, and quadruple the enthusiasm. And yes, Europe even has their own version of the NIT as well. So, through a complex and drawn-out process, teams from all over Europe compete just to qualify for this tournament. And starting each September, the top 32 teams are put into 8 groups of 4. Each team plays the other members of its group 2 times, once at home and once on the road. Come December, the winner and runner-up from each group move on to the knockout round. And this is where club soccer is at its finest. Teams are paired up individually and again play 1 home and 1 away game, with the winner from each pair moving on to the next round until only 2 teams remain. The Champions League final is then held as a single game each year in May. And unless it's the World Cup year, this is the most important soccer game of the year. After 90 minutes, the champion is crowned, the trophy is awarded, parades commence, and all clubs go on break until the madness fires back up again in August. So, to review, number 1, each country has its own league.
Also, this is just going on right now, at the time of this recording. Because at the time of this recording, it's September. So, yeah.
Number 2, the worst teams are kicked out of the league and replaced by the best teams from the next division down. Number 3, throughout the year, each country also holds a playoff-type tournament called a cup. And number 4, the UEFA Champions League is a tournament involving all of Europe and is the most important competition in all of club soccer.
Where do they play internationally? Or when? Alright, you guys, so that was Understanding European Soccer in 4 Simple Steps, a guide for Americans, stupid Americans. But, yeah, there you have it, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's just for European soccer. I wonder if there's a video about international, like, how that would play out, you feel me? That's what I'm most curious about. Y'all let me know down in the comment section down below, man. And also let me know your thoughts about this video as well. It's Boomer. You're watching Bali Star. Make sure to leave a like, just below the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Brand new single out right now. It'll come right after this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. 100. Oh!
Why is it hard for one to understand? I'm only